Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. A little early. A little early. A little bit early. Oh, shit. How is that possible? That I haven't even started my live stream and I already got a thumbs down. Is that possible? Can they do that? How is that possible? I haven't even started the live stream. How is that possible? That they can do that. That they can do such things. What's going on, man? AJ, what's up? Jenks, what's up? Sam, what's up, my brother? Yeah, man. So I don't know if I've told you guys, but I love soccer jerseys. I don't know shit about soccer. But what happens is today my son had his first little league soccer game, and in a mad scramble because I'm a great parent, I didn't buy him. We actually were looking for some cleats yesterday, but they were sold out everywhere at Academy, which is kind of like the local sports store. And so there's another like little smaller mom and pop soccer store that sells nothing but soccer stuff. So I called them up and they had his size, so we went over there. And every time I'm in the soccer store, I always tell the girl that she's like a little young girl from like high school or something. I said, "Hey, do you guys have a rack that has all the soccer jerseys from the teams that suck that you guys are selling for like pennies on the dollar?" And she turns around and she goes, "Yep, it's right over there." And so that's where I took my ass over there, and I was like, anything that looks cool, I'm buying it. I don't really too much care. And today, this is the one that stuck out. And apparently, this team is absolute dog shit. So, you know, it's that's how I buy my soccer jerseys. I buy them based off looks. The only team that I actually know, that I buy because of the team, and that even still, Paris Saint-Germain, I buy their soccer jerseys because they're Jordan brand soccer jerseys. And that's really the only reason why I like specifically look for those. But usually the teams that suck are like half off. So, you know, it's just kind of things. All right. So what's up, man? What's going on, guys? I'm starting a little early today. I was just kind of sitting down, just, hanging out. And I was like, you know what? I know I said 9 o'clock, but I can kick this shit off whenever I want to because it's my live stream. So to those of you that haven't seen yet, check it out. Pretty dope. The little break mat there. Once I get once I get shit to break, we got the little break mat here. So that's kind of dope. The stream is very, like, there's a lot of latency. So you guys just bear with me there. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. A lot happened in the last couple of days this week, which is why I didn't do a live stream last week because it was Labor Day weekend and we were just kind of out and about with the family and stuff. So, it was kind of fun, but so I just decided not to do one. But this weekend, there's just way too much stuff going on. I can't not do one. So we'll see what happens. There's a shit ton of latency in this thing. So if you guys are asking questions and I miss it, I'm gonna apologize in advance for that. But I always definitely will get to your question if you tag me in it, and if you send me a super chat, I absolutely will answer your question or shout you out or whatever it is that you want me to do in the super chat. So just keep that in mind as well. I'll probably be on for like an hour and a half, maybe something like that, hour 15. That's usually what I do. So just let's see what's what. All right, chat's kind of lit up. Hit the like button on the stream if you're hanging out with me. Yeah, so apparently before I even kicked on, I got a thumbs down button, which was pretty funny. You guys know I love my haters more than I love anything. So let's see here. Everybody's checking out my soccer jersey. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Troy? What's up, Marvelous Pax? Hey, man. So I need to sit down with you, man. I've been talking a lot back and forth with a lot. Those of you, so I've been pushing SGC a lot, but there's a whole community of people that collect Marvel trading cards who have just been going hard on SGC. So there's like a lot of people that have been doing that. So that's kind of dope. So shout out to Marvelous Packs. There's a couple other guys that I've been interacting with in that little space of Marvel cards. I want to shout out a couple of you guys. I think Marvel Cards is one. Marvelous Packs, Marvel Cards Up on Instagram is another one that I've been chatting with. There's a couple other guys. There's one more that I want to shout out because he really kind of put me onto the whole thing. Dang, man. Marvel Madness MCU on Instagram is another one that reached out to me. I've been kind of talking back and forth with them as well. And there's one more person that reached out to me. I can't remember who it was, but shout out to all you guys. We're going to be doing something here in the next couple of weeks, maybe the next week. That's going to be Marvel cards related. So if you like non-sports stuff, I'm trying to do a little bit of that as well. So stay tuned for that as well. What's up, Troy? Troy's in the house. Jank's in the house. Pedro de la Flor is in the house. Arsenal sucks. Yes, I've been told by several of my family members who are huge soccer fans that Arsenal does in fact suck, and that's the reason why I only paid $20 for this jersey, brand new. So hey, it's cool. Chase Hayes, what's up, my man? Troy's in the house. Facto Lots says it works for him as well because he's a Jets fan and they suck and they're always on clearance. I hear you, brother. Right now, Deshaun Watson jerseys are like pennies on the dollar. So that's kind of cool. Chase says he just found the channel this week. Welcome, Chase. What's up, man? Sam, I did get your package, my brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. That's pretty dope that you guys like want to send me stuff. I'm humbled by that. So, thank you guys. AJ says, does anyone know if HGA grades stickers? I don't think they grade stickers yet. I've actually asked that question before. I don't think they grade stickers yet. Sponsors and accusing them of pumping and dumping. So Global Sports Card Investor, did you see Card Porn's rants about content creators who have sponsors and accusing them of pumping and dumping? No, I have not seen that. I'd be curious to watch that. Send me that in a email or something. Global, send that to me. I'd like to check that out. Phil Hubert, Justice League poster on the wall. Always love. Oh yeah, Justice League. And I got X-Men over there. And then I used to have my copy of New Mutants. I had a copy of New Mutants 98, I believe it was. First appearance of Deadpool. I used to have a copy of that. I got a gang of, I don't know where they're at. Oh, actually, you know what? So I'll admit I'm somewhat of a late bloomer when it comes to the Marvel MCU. If extra points to whoever knows what's special about this one, and special about this one, and special about this one. So these are all special about that one, that one, that one. These are all comics that I've had for a while. I picked those up a while back when I was going through the binge of the Marvel series. of MCU, so that's been kind of cool. So I've been doing quite a bit of picking up old comic books and stuff that are pretty relevant. So like New Mutant, is first appearance of Deadpool. All those ones that I showed you just there were all cards that were, all comics that had first appearances or first mentions of Infinity Stones. So I kind of like little quirky shit like that. So yeah, thanks Phil, appreciate it. Bro, your logo looks like a Houston Rockets logo. David, that is the Houston Rockets logo was the kind of the inspiration behind the logo. As you guys know, I'm a humongous Rockets fan, so that's kind of where that. Are you ready for 3 years of junk wax and 2,001 of ones? So I don't think that. We'll get into that in a second, 40-something, because I think there's something going on there, which is kind of weird. William Met in the house. Are you considering doing joint live streams with other content creators? I'm open to anything, my brother. Let me know. Holler at me. Pittsburgh in the house, man. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to the whole TGT team. Man, they got some good stuff going on. What's up, Pittsburgh? What's up? How are you? I saw your live stream. They sounded good, but their price is high. King of Trading Cards is going to be the one who can get to the $15 price point for regular collectors. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty fair statement. It's going to be a price war to the bottom, right? So we'll see what happens there. We'll see whoever can get there first, right? Because I agree, whoever can get to the cheapest price. But I think that price war is going to be between BGS, SGC, and PSA. It's whichever one of those three can get to it's whichever one of those three can get there. Whichever one of those three is that's going to be able to offer that service, they're going to be the ones to get there. I think that's ultimately who's going to win that war. But Keelan, what's up, my man? Joey, what's going on? Joey Espresso. Nice. Joey Espresso. Can you see PSA accepting bulk orders again within the next 6 months? So they've already said that they're going to open up lower tiers before the end of Q4, but then they threw in that caveat that says if we feel comfortable with it. So that's kind of been one of those things where it's like, we're going to do it if we feel okay about doing it. It's like when your mom tells you, maybe, you know what that means. You know what maybe means. We all know what maybe means. I've told my kids maybe. So, Yep. So what's up, Joey? Joey Espresso in the house. Sam, your content provides value. It's like super chat, but better. I love it, my man. I appreciate that. Jeff Cards, what's up? Very few in the hobby are grading 1,000+ raw cards. Even SGC at $30 is expensive. Yeah, I agree. So I mean, your normal, PSA is really pushing the whole thing about the sets. Like their registry, right? So they're really pushing that because what that does is that really makes you want to make sets of that makes you want to send off cards to get graded that you otherwise would not get graded to finish a set, right? So like my set of slam insert cards from this year's hoops, like I'm gonna send that off to get graded. I don't care what the grades are, I just want them all graded, and I have the set, right, the full set. So that's kind of dope. So yeah, I agree. Not everybody. Me, for example, right? I don't really have I don't buy the big, National Treasure type boxes. I don't buy even hobby boxes these days are ridiculously expensive. So I don't buy any of that stuff. Therefore, it's going to be very hard buying retail to hit those $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 cards to send them off to get graded. So it's really just the big dogs that are doing that. People that are spending the $4,000 or $5,000 for a box of National Treasure, a box of Flawless, or a box of Immaculate, that are going to get those cards to send them off to get graded. I don't do that, right? So for me, it's going to be about who can be the cheapest that's going to give me the best value, the best service, and who I feel grades the most accurate and the most consistent. And that's where I'm going to send. That's where I'm going to send my cards off. Otherwise, I'll just hold on to them. You know, I mean, I've really slowed down these last couple of months. Maybe the last 2 or 3 months. I think the last sub that I did was like in June or July. Might have been my last sub. I'm going to do some subs this month. That I probably won't get back till sometime next month because SGC is, you know, like at a 16 or 18 day turnaround time, business day turnaround time. So that's about 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, it's going to be interesting, but, you know, I really don't know what the future is going to hold. And I really don't know if PSA is going to get their shit together enough in time to be able to make any sort of a dent in you know, and being able to bring back cards next year or this year at any price point that's even relevant. So it's kind of one of those things, right? It's just kind of up and down. Tali, what's going on, man? Ulufale in the house. What's up, man? Star Wars Living says it's Sunday. No, I fixed that. It's Saturday. It is Saturday. I gotta get better at this live stream stuff because I'm not really, like, I really need to sit down and like figure out like what's going on with that because I don't know what. I mean, I know how to do it, obviously, right? Because we're on, but there's some nuances there that I got to figure out, and get sorted so I can, you know, do stuff like that. But you know, it is what it is. Who will be NFL here? I have no idea, man. Honestly, I love football. I love watching football, but I don't. Man, it says I'm lagging. I don't know what the hell's going on. Y'all see me? Everything's good? I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, yeah, so we'll see what's what. Let me do a quick check real quick for my internet connection because my internet connection should be good. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. And the problem is that I've had like technicians coming out. It's like they've done everything, like they've checked everything, and they're like, "Oh, don't know what to tell you, boss." I'm like, "Well, you guys are lucky that fiber optic, AT&T fiber optic doesn't come into my neighborhood. You know, because if they did, I'd totally be. That's where I would be right now. But I'm stuck with Comcast, so, or Xfinity or whatever." But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on with the internet connection here, but so what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying. I have always brought cards already slabbed. My thought process, I don't have to wait or be upcharged. So 40, that's something that, you know, a lot of people are doing now. Buying cards already graded. You know, just sending you links on Instagram for card posts. Okay. No way the PSA is catching up on anything this year with the holidays coming up. Yeah, so it's not like one of those retail businesses where they can like hope to like gain where they can hope to gain you know, any traction in the holiday season. It's not like they offer. I wouldn't put it past them though, like to sell, like if they start selling gift certificates. Does PSA do gift certificates? I don't know if they do gift certificates, but you know, if they don't, then that's kind of weird. But if I was PSA, I would limit the amount of cards that were allowable per person per month. Once they reopen with full orders, they'll be in the same boat. Yeah. So David, that would be the move, right? For them to do that, but they're not. They're not going to do that. They're just, you know, they'll either raise the price or just open the floodgates again. They don't really care too much. Thanks for sharing the Star Wars Galaxy Chrome content. I have been using the Atomics now. Yeah, no problem, Matt. Nat, like I said in the video, my brother has like a ton of stuff that he hasn't opened, and he's like, you know, like I'll sell you one of the boxes for what I paid for it or whatever, so I can break some more stuff. But a lot of people really like that. 6 recall. So Sam is getting his cards back from PSA. Got 3 more recalls in the mail today, and the 6th recall of 6 is complete. Waiting for tracking now. The rest can take its time now. My sub to RCG is complete, and I'm waiting tracking now. RCG, I think that's Revolution, right? I gotta be honest. I'm not a big fan of their slabs, so we'll see what. I'm not a big fan of their design, their slab design, or the label design, not the slab design. Yeah, sorry about the lag, guys. I think everything should be good now. Kids taking it up with Disney Plus, man. They're over there streaming Moana in 4K. One of your kids is watching something in 4K. I wouldn't put it down. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, fiber optic, man. If I had fiber optic, dude, I wouldn't even be. Hobby Beast, what's up? What's going on, man? 40 something. Gift card, 1 free slab, returns within 5 years. That'd be funny. PSA needs to open up multiple locations. So apparently that's what they're trying to do. They have a couple of locations that they're trying to open up. I don't know if that's like going to be something that they're really going to do, but you know, I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that they're taking too much. You know, their ship is taking on water, and they're not clearing it out. You know, they're adding 3 buckets of water and only tossing out 1. But you know what's funny? Somebody said something in one of the videos that I did here recently, where you know, they were saying, because I was saying that, you know, they did 185,000 cards last week, and somebody said, "Damn, 185,000 cards. How many graders do they have?" Right? So even if you did the math, and there was 185,000 cards, 1,000 cards, and let's say I don't think they have 300 graders. I would say, what would y'all say if you had gun to your head and you had to guess how many graders PSA has? What would you say? My number, just from an operation standpoint, I would say they probably have about 250, maybe 300. Maybe 300. What would you guys say? Just in the chat. Tell me what would you say? So like if we wanted to figure out if we wanted to figure out how many cards a person is grading, like what would you say is the number? 40 something says 50. That's kind of funny. 40 something says 50. 40 says 50. Natsman says 100. I think it's got to be more. I think it's got to be more than that. I think that they can hire, on a whim, they can probably hire. Well, I don't know what the labor laws in California are, but I would think that they can hire pretty quickly. Damn, Christian says 75. Son, 75. But yeah, I mean, I guess you guys are thinking in terms of like what we saw like in the SGC video and what we saw in the HGA video. So take those as really good baselines, right? So in the SGC video and in the HGA video, we saw these pockets of people, right? And let's say that in each one of those videos, if I go back and watch the video, I saw maybe 100 people in there. And keep in mind that the PSA does 10x what did he say? They were hoping to do 20,000 that week. I think SGC Peter said. So I would say that, you know, they probably have anywhere from I would say 300 is probably a fair number to assume that they have, right? PSA has. So I would say, all right, so Chad says, all right, we're getting in some guesses here. Ulufale says 120. Joey Expresso says 150. Bradley Helston says PSA has about 500 graders. Bradley, do you have any level? What's your level of certainty on that number, Bradley? Because if you're telling me that you know for a fact, I'll take your word for it. If you like, or is that your guess, or do you know for sure? Because if you know for sure, then I'll use that number, that 500. Oh, Christian said 750. I think that's a lot. I don't think they have that much. I would probably guess between 250 and 300. I think their whole staff is around 1,000. William says he thinks his whole staff is at 1,000. That's what I think, but you got a lot of stuff there, right? So I like that 500 number. Bradley Helston seems to be pretty confident about his number. I like that number. As Hobby B said, I'm going to say 69 based on their service they've been giving. All right. I like Bradley's number. I like Bradley's number of 500. So even if they have 500, let's say we have 185,000. Have 185,000 cards that they did last week. 185,000. So in 1 week, 500 people. So divided by 500. So that's 370 cards per person a week. Okay. What's up, Ruthie? What's up, Choco? All right, let me make sure I get this. Cholo Colo. Cholo Coloco. Cholo Coloco. Cholo Coloco? I think I got that right. What's up, Ruthie? I feel like 300 over 300 is quality control should be an issue. Joey, that's exactly my point I'm getting to. Okay, good. I'm glad you're already there. So 185,000 cards in a week. And if you divide that by 500, that means every person did 370 cards. So if you take 370 and divide it by a 40-hour work week, that means they're doing about 9 cards an hour. Divide that by 60. No. So 9. So they're doing about 10 cards an hour is what it's coming out to. 10 cards in 1 hour. Is that right? 185,000 cards. 185,000 cards. Divided by, let's just say 500 people. That's 370 cards a person in 1 week's time. You take that 370 and divide it by 40. One person can do 9 cards an hour. That seems reasonable. I would think that seems reasonable. And I'm not trying to get too exact with the numbers, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around what that is, right? So that's at 500. Let me see, what are you guys saying? A lot of people eat stuff, research, slab encapsulating. Yeah, that's true. So, okay, but even still, see, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wrap my head around how I can back into a number, right? So if I got 185,000, which we know that's correct because we're pulling the data right out of the pop report. But if I take that number and then I think about assuming 500 in graders. Now I'm just talking about graders. Forget about the shipping, the receiving, and all that stuff. Forget about all that stuff for a second. Just pure graders. Do we think they got 500 graders? I don't know. I only went with that number because Bradley threw it out there and he looked really, I don't know. For some reason, I read that very confidently. And I don't know if my man Bradley ever came back and said, yeah, I'm pretty confident about that number. You can take that to the bank. Does anybody know what happened to Bradley? Bradley, paging Brad Henley. Is that your name? Bradley Henley? I think that's what his name was. Oh, Helston. Bradley Helston. Paging Bradley Helston. No? Okay. Anyway. So anyway, that comes out to about 9.5 cards an hour. So let's round it up. Let's say 10 cards in 1 hour. They're taking 6 minutes a card? Is that enough time to grade? Is that enough time to grade cards? To take a look at a card? You got 6 minutes to look at a card and identify the flaws in that card. Rick Hoop said if they got 500 people, 250 of them need to be replaced immediately. Yeah, that was one of the things that I got in trouble with Tyler from HGA. there was an announcement that came out that said they were laying off people, and I was like, yeah, they're laying off people because they don't have that much work anymore. And then he got pretty upset about that. He's like, we're laying off people because they suck. Well, the part that I didn't get on that piece was the fact that they were laying off people, but they were hiring people in their place. So that's kind of the, I just made an assumption that because they haven't filled all their spots, and the announcement came out that they're laying off people, and he confirmed that they were laying people off, but didn't add the fact that they were hiring more people in their place, kind of left me to assume that they were hiring people or letting people go because they didn't have enough work for them. But anyway, but here's the other thing too, is that in their announcement, in PSA's recent announcement, they made a reference to them starting to use technology in their grading process to move things along a little quicker. So if that's the case, then I'm saying, okay, if you got 6 minutes to grade a card, right? Let's just say, based on our fucking guerrilla math that we're doing here, if you got 6 minutes to grade a card, but you're not actually looking at the card, right? You're looking at a pretty good size monitor with a good display, 4K display, and you're zooming in and you're fucking looking and turning, and you're able to pull up the inverse image scans and look at the surface and look at the surface reports and then make your determinations. I'd say that 6 minutes is pretty decent, I would say. I'd also say that, if you are also having that same software that's scanning the cards give you a recommendation on what the software thinks the grade should be, much like we saw in that Genament kind of like test run that they put up on their website, then that's kind of what's going on. The Genament technology tells you what it should be, and then you can look it over and decide whether you agree or not. And if you agree, then you just move it on, So, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, whatever, Oh, shit. What did I do? Did I just close out? Oh, man. Hopefully the stream is still going. What did I do? What did I do? I think I did something. I think I closed out the window. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Man, I'm just completely screwing up today with this live stream. Anyway, so yeah, 6 minutes. It's kind of weird. I just, I don't know if that's accurate, but again, that's based on an assumption that they have 500 people grading cards, which I honestly don't think it's that high. I don't think that they have that many people grading cards. I don't. I think it's closer to 300, 350 at the most. So again, guys, don't take that to the bank, right? I mean, take it with a grain of salt. Again, we're doing what I like to call like just very loose, very general guerrilla math, right? This is like, I'm just, it's just kind of one of those things, right? That I'm just I'm trying to do like a mental exercise or something, just to kind of wrap my head around like what that looks like numbers wise. So anyway, what do you guys say? You guys are in here. Let's see here. If they got 500, 250, reasonable as long as everyone avoids the dispensaries outside the doors. Yeah, for real. Sam, I would probably think, that might be good for some of those folks. I know a guy who's an artist. And when I say this, I mean, he's an artist, but he's a tradesman. His trade is cabinet making. And, hitting a little bit of the medicinal helps him, focus and clear his mind and do some amazing work. So, maybe PSA needs to subsidize some of that stuff. We know they benchmark for production, I will say, under 2 minutes a card. Whew, man, 2 minutes a card. 2 minutes a card, I think, is like, if they're grading in 2 minutes a card, then that makes sense why some of the grades are what they are, which is weird. Gym cards are easy, probably harder on vintage cards. Yep, I would agree. You should spend a week at PSA and try to find out the true story. I think that and I might do this just for the goof, right? Just for the laugh. Is actually reach out to PSA and be like, hey man, let me come in and see what's going on, and let me report on what you guys are doing. Can you imagine like PSA like actually reaching out to me and going, all right, asshole, you've been talking a lot of shit, bro. Why don't you come on down and kind of see what we go through on a weekly basis, and and report on that, right? It should be, that would be hilarious. I'd take them up on that in a heartbeat. A publicly traded company with less than 1,000 employees. So Charlie, they're no longer a publicly traded company. They went private, which is a very interesting thing that they went private, because they don't have to answer to any shareholders or anything. So let's see here. You don't know, just like PSA. You don't know, just like PSA. What do I do? Oh, yeah. So Rick, again, like I said, man, we're making assumptions. We're doing guerrilla math here. It's not anything exact. Again, my thought process is I'm just trying to wrap my head. Again, I have a manufacturing background. I have that's where my brain immediately goes, right? If somebody says we have an order for 1,000 widgets and you got 6 people, immediately what I'm thinking about is how long is it going to take us to do? Who's the most efficient? Who can I put in what processes? Who can do what? Who can plug where? That's immediately what my mind gets to. So whenever I see this number, that's a good number that we're pulling directly off of the pop reports of 185,000 cards a month or a week. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out what that equates to in terms of manpower and people power. So the only way to get a hold of PSA is to rip them on the internet. They might get pissed off and email you back. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. You know what? Actually, I've heard on a couple of occasions people getting responses back from PSA pretty quick. So they may be beefing up their thing. Never take anything personal, Rick says. No, don't take anything personal, man. I'll stop taking anything from PSA personal whenever they send me back my goddamn Elijah ones. Then I may lay off of them for a little bit. But until then, I'm not laying off. I'm not looking forward to. I'm not laying off on them. I'm gonna keep the pedal to the metal. Grading the card isn't where the lag is. Yeah, so Jacob, based on that Reddit AMA that a former employee did, I'm hearing that research and ID is where the lag is. That's where the bottleneck is. Apparently, it's harder to grade somebody to do research. It's harder to hire people to do research than it is to hire graders, which kind of makes sense, right? I mean, grading is a pretty finite thing if you have a standard, right? If the standard is set in stone, right? This is what you look for, and this is, if this is happening, then you obviously there's some level of scrutiny that you can do, or there's like a level of interpretation to it, but you do have a standard. However, when it comes to researching and IDing a card, especially when things are not just clean cut, like it's not like it's not like a 2020, 2019, 2018, 2019 Donruss, whatever the fuck, right? If it's not this, like this is a 89 Phil Jackson, it's pretty cut and clear what it is. But if you send them an oddball card that requires some research, that's when things get kind of funky, right? Man, sorry guys, I'm falling behind on the chat here, but anyway, in an hour, considering all the front and back end support needed. Sorry guys if I'm missing your questions here. If you got a question for me directly, man, just tag me in it. Just tag me in it and it'll pop up. It'll show me tagged in it. Or you can throw in out super chat. I always make sure that I get to those of you that send me super chats, which I do appreciate. One word must be, let's see here. Do the best you can on a daily basis. I see Rick's chats because he's like in all caps. Rick, I don't know if you're mad or if your caps locks is on, but one's word must be impeccable. Oh, no one qualifies. I don't know what that means, Rick. You're speaking in code, brother. You're speaking in code. Let me see. We got some more people in here. Dan Wiernick. Would you pay more for notes from the grader to see why they graded it the way they did? No, I would not, and that's simply because the good folks over at TGT or, they're already doing that, and transparent grading team is already doing that. So I will not pay for that. If I want that, then I would send my cards over to TGT, which I'm working on a batch right now to figure out what's what. So. No, Dan, I wouldn't pay extra for it, especially if it's something that like you would figure that PSA could really use that as an addition to their revenue, where they would go, hey, listen, guys, for $5 more, we'll give you access to this, database that you can scan your card and you can see the notes from the grader. How many of you would pay for that? I mean, I know if I was still submitted to PSA, I would definitely do that. You also got to think PSA employees get mad when their PSA submission of 1,000 cards and just guess in grades to hurry up and go home. Yeah, there's some truth to that. It's like they say never buy a car that was made on a Friday or something like that. I can't remember how that saying goes, but or on a Monday. Never buy a car that was made on a Monday or something like that, because it's probably rushed through. So it is what it is. Red Santos. Hey, first time catching the live stream. Big fan from the Philippines. What's up, Red? What's happening, brother? Thank you for joining, man. Glad you can make it. Glad you made to the live stream. Remember, you have to measure, verify, authentic. Not sure what that means, Bradley. I'm assuming you're talking about PSA, right? They'd have to measure, verify. Yep. Grunt Dad. I would not doubt that they grade 25 to 30 cards per hour. Need to include break times, sipping on water breaks, coughing, sneezing, and general pauses. In all, probably about 45 minutes of grading per hour. That's a good point. I used to go out and have a smoke break, and I don't smoke. So if somebody would ever ask me like, hey, man, where'd you go? Oh, I just went to go take a smoke break. And everybody would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then somebody asked me one day, like, you smoke? And I go, no. And they're like, but you take smoke breaks. And I go, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And everybody's just kind of like, that was like, he doesn't smoke, so why is he taking smoke breaks? Well, I mean, if you're entitled to 15 minutes every hour, because you smoke, then I should be entitled to 15 minutes too. I'm just going to go out there with you and hang out. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm with you, Grunt. I think that sounds about right. Out of an hour, you're probably getting maybe about, you're being generous, 45 minutes. I'd probably say closer to 35, 40 minutes of actual like grading time. So it sounds about right. Rick says, I have a degree in business. It doesn't matter playing this game. Yeah. You would think that like the general practices of business would matter. That's actually, Rick, that's a really good point, right? That the general practices of business and the general like rules that would apply to like ethical business practices, I'm starting to realize that they don't really matter in trading cards. It's part of what I'm going to talk about when I do my video on that Wada Gaming grading company and the clusterfuck that they're in right now with all this like backhanded deals, backroom deals, and all this other crazy shit that's going on with those guys, and how it relates to the sports card industry. Because keep in mind, there is no SEC regulating sports collectibles, trading, grading, and all that stuff. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing some massively shady shit, because there's nothing there, right? So anyway, PHL card collectibles. I've heard stories of PSA grading cards within 30 seconds. Not sure if it's true, but who knows? Don't put it past them. I do not put it past them. So yeah. Shannon Sharp is underrated. Is Shannon Sharp underrated? Rick says, is Shannon Sharp underrated? I don't know. You mean like as like an investment play? I don't know. I loved him as a player. I thought he was great. But I don't know. Retro, I applied at PSA and CGC and went through the whole hiring process. PSA recruiter is on point. He is extremely knowledgeable, and I believe PSA is trying to balance out their pop report because both have long training programs. Jeff, so you actually applied for a job with PSA? That's interesting. I mean, if there's a lot of criminals in the collecting world, there is a lot of criminals in the collecting world. Marvel Madness MCU, what's happening, man? What's happening, brother? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been here for $100 less. I'll be sending. Rick, I'm not sure what you mean by that, buddy. Are you going to submit, Josh? Josh, what's up, man? Are you going to submit to anything to TGT? I am going to submit some stuff. My guy Alan over there is working on some stuff, some very, very, very interesting stuff that I find like I'm always in awe of people who, like, there's people out there who go, oh, we're going to think outside the box. Like, they usually just like as a throw around term. Nah, my guy Alan's pretty out of the box. And he's doing some pretty gnarly shit over there at TGT. But yeah, I got some stuff lined up that I'm going to be sending over there. Some stuff that I've been talking with Josh about that I'll give you guys a little hint, that may or may not involve my Hakeem Olajuwon prism chase that you guys have seen me put together over the last couple of years. I don't know, maybe, who knows? But yeah, we're gonna see. Tali, TGT is doing big things, man. I'm really I like those guys. They're pretty good guys. Never get surgery on a Friday, Will says. What's up, Will? Never buy a car made on Friday or Monday is the rule. Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. Yeah, never buy a car. Buy one on Wednesday because everybody's like, made it. Mark Lodenschlager. Did I get that right? Please tell me I got that right. I'm pretty decent with names. Just joined in, so you may have already discussed this. The grading company, in my opinion, should have an appeal option as an alternate revenue stream. They do have an appeal option. It's called crack and resub, Mark. That's how PSA has made thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, probably millions. I've heard stories of people like cracking and resubbing a card like 10 times until they got the grade that they finally got the grade that they wanted, and they ultimately did get the grade, and they did. So it's kind of weird. Rips 2 slabs says, I finally caught alive. What's up, brother? Welcome back, man. Rick says a joint does wonders. That's what I hear. I hear that's the general consensus, that a joint does wonders. They should send in Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet to help them fix their process. I love that guy. Dan, I love that guy because he's all about, the process and making shit work and cutting out the bullshit. John Cooper, what's up? I don't think PSA should be trying to upcharge when you pay for a $20 service and it's taking years. Can you imagine if, like, you sent in a card? Can you imagine sending in a Giannis rookie card and then he wins the championship while they're holding on to your cards, and it just like tips the scales over to like the next thing, and now all of a sudden you got to pay $1,000 to grade that card instead of the 50? It's kind of weird, man. That would suck. I'd be pissed. What's up, John? Thank you for joining us, man. Drew Brees' second and third year Chrome PSA 9s are super cheap and been buying them up for under $30. Low pops. Dan, I love Drew Brees. I think he's got one Super Bowl, right? Does he have a Super Bowl? I think they got one, right? I just don't know that he's gonna be that big of a play. Did they win a Super Bowl? I could have sworn they won a Super Bowl. I'm just trying to figure out when. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Okay, yeah. 31-17, beat the Colts. Yeah, I'm not sure. Dan, I don't like. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Brees like that, but it could be. I mean, for $30, we're talking PSA 9s, Topps Chrome, low pop, possibly. Yeah. Did you see the video with the breakers who are cheating? No, I didn't. I've heard that there's a couple of them like, hey guys, there's somebody out my door. I'll be right back. I heard there was something like that going on, but not really. Among the new grading companies, who would be the best? Red, as far as like the new grading companies, I'm talking a lot about TGT here recently, but as far as new companies, man, there's that are kind of killing it. I really like HGA. They got their shit together, and ComC just gave them the nod of approval, so I like them. You saw the CGC 9.5 Charizard with the 6.5 surface edges and corners. No, I didn't. Send me that. A1. Hey, Mark Laudenschlager says I got his name right, so that's good. Happy about that. Man, I'm trying to keep up with these things, guys. Sorry. Many collectors lost their ass submitting Tyler Hero cards. Oh, man. Tyler Hero's another one. That dude went off in the bubble, and then we just kind of didn't hear from him again. But, I always think things like that where it's almost a safer play. Like Tyler Hero is almost a safer play than like a RJ Barrett, right? Where we just haven't seen RJ Barrett completely break out and take over a game and just go hard like we have Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero did it but then again, Tyler Hero did it in the bubble, so you don't really know how much of that plays into it. But yeah, man, I like Tyler Hero. I think he's kind of one of those really interesting characters that what he's capable of now. But I honestly think that Miami, at some point, if he does good again this season, they might move him to another team for some for some pieces. So he'll have good trade value, I think. We'll see what's what, but if you guys haven't already, hit the like button on the stream for me. It helps out. I think we got to 100 likes last time, so that was kind of dope. So if you guys can hit that like button on the stream, I'd be very, very appreciative. Michael Denzer says, yeah, he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, so Drew Brees won a Super Bowl. I like him. I think he's a great player, but I just don't know that he's gonna. Great story too, man. With the Chargers, got hurt. New Orleans gave him a second shot, and then he just kind of became the guy, So it is what it is. So Dan is asking me, who am I buying now in hopes to make bank? Make bank, bro. I want to make bank, bro. You know what, man? I've said this before. I don't really do a whole lot of speculating because I really feel like speculating requires, to successfully speculate, and even that's almost an oxymoron, to successfully speculate. It's like successfully forecasting or guessing correctly. It's kind of the fact that you're speculating and prospecting carries with it an inherent failure dilemma in it, right? So I don't really do a whole lot of prospecting, but and the only reason why I do this is because I follow my Rockets so closely, and they are honestly right now this season. Are in a pretty good spot to really surprise some people. You guys have heard me talk about Kenyon Martin Jr. I love that kid. There's another guy in there that's with him. Kenyon Martin Jr. There's oh my God, why am I blanking on his name right now? The other kid that's in there. Let me see. I'll tell y'all what his name is right now. I can't believe Jashawn Tate. Jesus Christ, why couldn't I remember his name? Jashawn Tate, Kenyon Martin. I think those kids are amazing. Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, that is just a lot of firepower. That's a lot of really young, hungry kids. those guys they're just hungry to go out and prove themselves. And then you throw in Green into the mix, drafted at number 2, so he's already got a chip on his shoulder. And then you got Alperen Şengün, who I love that kid. Coming in from Turkey, looking to make a splash in the NBA. I just really think, along with Christian Wood, you got what's his name is still with us. I need to take something for memory, because I have really bad memory when it comes to names. John Wall. You got John Wall, who's like a seasoned, grizzled vet. I don't know, man. I really like what the Rockets are doing. So I am personally buying up a lot of Kenyon Martin's rookie cards. I'm trying to buy as many silvers as I can under a certain dollar amount. I'm trying to buy, autograph numbered cards under a certain dollar amount, and any Jayshawn Tate's rookie cards, autograph cards under a certain dollar amount. I'm trying to pick up as many of those as I can. And then I can't wait for the 2021, 2022 cards to start coming out, because I'm really going to be heavy picking up, Jalen, obviously Green, and then Şengün, and then there's another kid in there too. I can't remember his name, that we picked up like later in the draft. But there's a lot of excitement going on right now with the Rockets, because with landing that second lottery pick, we definitely put ourselves in a really good spot. And even after naming off all those guys, I really think that Kevin Porter Jr., if you can get his cards right now at a decent price, especially if you can, get the RPAs and things like that. You guys know my rule. I have $100 rule. I don't spend more than $100 on a particular card. If I have to, then if a card goes up past that, then I just consider myself as missing the train on that. But I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be this year coming into the season. I think he's in a really good place mentally with the Rockets, personally, here in Texas and in Houston. And I think that with the squad that we're putting together right now, he is going to emerge as what they thought he was going to be in Cleveland. And I really think they're a good play. So, if I had to say anybody that I'm putting money into that I think is going to be breakout, is going to be any one of the Rockets rookies that were a 2020, 2021 rookie, as well as coming into the next draft class, 2021, 2022. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So thank you for that question, Dan. The Juice Main. What's up, The Juice? The Juice Main. How did you find out what day of the week a car is being bought, built, some kind of code? Yeah. So usually it depends. Usually manufacturers now only tell you like what month and year. You can find it on that little door in the sticker that has your VIN number and all that shit on there. It tells you the month and year. But back in the day, you used to be able to look at especially on a Chevy, you could look at the build sheet on a Chevy, and it has all the MRO codes or MSO codes, I forget what they're called, that have all the options on them, and then there's a build date on there. So it's kind of cool. But I don't think they do that anymore. But it is what it is. Waiting for Nico Mannion to bust loose. Yep, I heard he's pretty good. Cam Reddish. So anybody on the Hawks, you guys know I love Clint Capella. So I did that with Capella, right? When we drafted Capella and when we had Capella, when he really started to come into his own with the Rockets, again, I started picking up a lot of stuff. So I have a lot of like National Treasure autograph Clint Capella's rookies. I have a huge amount of the tie-dye autographs. I got like really low numbered, like to 5 to 10 gold stuff. I got a bunch of PSA 10 autograph select tie-dyes of Clint Capella because I was picking them up for like $10 or $20. Like I was picking them up for dirt cheap because, he was Clint Capella and nobody really knew what he was doing. And he didn't have an opportunity with the Rockets to really break out in the manner that he wanted to. He had a little bit of a run there before James Harden took off as like, it was him, Chris Paul, and James Harden was kind of the trio, along with PJ Tucker and a couple other guys that were playing support roles. He had an amazing season. The guy was a freaking double machine, and I kept telling people that anybody who would listen to me, I was like, yo man, I'm telling y'all, Clint Capella's the truth. And then he went to Atlanta and just teamed up with Trae Young, Cam Reddish, the Bogdanovich. and I mean became just a part of a great team, and they made a great run last year, and he started to get some shine. So that's kind of the thing. Taco, you pulled a gold auto, Jashawn Tate. Send me a message on Instagram, please, sir. I'd like to talk to you about that card. If you don't mind, if it's for sale. I don't know if it's for sale or not. If it is, let me know. How hard does SGC grade on the back of the card? I hear they aren't as hard on the back as back of the card at HGA. I think that's kind of the case, Ruthie, for any grading company. They all kind of go off of this thing that they consider eye appeal, and it's really has to do with the front of the card. So I don't know how much weight they put. If I had to guess, I would say it's maybe like 60-40. But that's, I know they don't put as much weight as they do on the front of the card that they do on the back of the card. Yeah, so a lot of people are agreeing with me. KPJ being the play. Some people are buying Kevin Durant. I like Kevin Durant. I just think his legacy is going to get tarnished by the team jumping that he's doing. I never was really happy about that. I don't really agree when guys do that, but that's kind of what we live in these days. I just DM'd you on Instagram. Some guy on Twitter cracked a SGC 8.5 and sent it to PSA and ended up getting a 10. What? Bro, dude. What? Bro, dude sent me something on the old Grammy Gram. Let's see what's popping here. You guys follow me on Instagram on Instagram if you haven't already. Retro Hoop Breaks on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me, man. People send me so much stuff there. Marvel Madness, what's up, dude? Hey, man, thanks for the DM. I see it. I see you. I see it, and I see you, brother. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and accept this here. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Here, let me see if I can pull this up here. So we're talking about a SGC 8.5 that they cracked and resubbed, and they got a PSA 10. Goodness. All right, let's see what's popping here. SGC subbed that he cracked 8.5. Let's do this. So this was an 8.5. Here we go. We're playing Monday morning quarterback, right? Because we really don't know what's going on with this card. But it's an 8.5. It got an 8.5. And it came back a 10. PSA gave it a 10. What do you guys make of that? Oh my God. So here's okay, this is great. I'm glad you sent me this. Who sent me this? Let me see. Who sent me this? Bro, dude, thank you for sending this to me, man. This is nuts. 8.5 that cracked and resubbed and sent to PSA, and it came back a 10. And what's funny about this is that, again, when stuff like this happens, it depends on what camp you're in, right? You guys know me. I'm pro SGC all day long. So I would say that PSA is, probably, the guy was probably high, or he was a newbie guy, or, I would say that PSA didn't get it right. Now, if you are if you're a PSA fanboy and you hate SGC, then you would say, SGC got that one wrong and PSA got it right. So it just really plays into this idea of the subjectivity of grading, right? There's no standard. Every company has their own standard. And however, that is crazy to me that happened, because you guys know that I've cracked PSA 7s and resubmitted them and got SGC 9.5s, and I've cracked PSA 8s and gotten back SGC 10s, as was the case in my Luka. So very interesting that this is cool. Bro, dude, thank you for sending me that, man. I appreciate that. That's nuts. That is nuts. I love it. I love this kind of stuff because I say I love it because it really talks to the fact that the concept of grading a card, unless we can all agree on a unified standard, like if the government came out and said, "Hey, we're going to regulate the trading card market, and here is your standard of grading," then that's the only way things are ever gonna be, they're ever gonna be standardized. Otherwise, the grader must have been a big Scherzer guy. I'll once again, you guys know me. I don't know shit about baseball, so I'll I don't know. Is this guy good? Is he not good? Or like, what's the deal with this? Because I don't know shit about baseball. I assume he's good. That's why this guy submitted this card. So what are we talking about in terms of price? So let's go Max Scherzer rookie card. Bowman. I think it was a Bowman, right? Bowman update. Is that what it was? Was it a Bowman update? Yeah. Bowman update. So let's see. PSA 10. What's this guy gonna give? Oh goodness. Holy shit, man. So it sold $350 is what we're talking. All right. So $350 SGC 8.5. What am I doing? I can go to, goodness, man. I'm acting like I don't got a freaking Max Scherzer. Here we go. Max Scherzer. So a PSA 10 goes for, but that's not right because we just saw that there was one. Oh, maybe this hasn't updated yet, but nobody sold the SGC yet. Really? I don't doubt that, but Topps rookie update. Yeah, so let's go SGC. Oh, look at that. Oh, hold up now. Y'all see that price? Price has gone up. Prices are going up on those SGCs. Has nobody sold an SGC 8? Okay, so 9.5 is about $100. I would imagine an SGC 8 would sell, who knows, close to raw? I don't know. Yeah, I would imagine it'd sell close to raw, right? So, I mean, yeah, we're talking about a pretty significant bump in price from an SGC 10, from an SGC 8.5 to a PSA 10. But again, I don't know. Looking at the card, I can't tell. Obviously, nobody can tell here. I mean, the centering looks somewhat decent. We can't tell, right? But I don't know, man. That's craziness. That is crazy talk. See, this is the kind of thing that is gonna really throw things for a loop. And I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but I bought like this little microscope. It's basically like a USB microscope. I bought this thing. And that's what I want to do. I want to look at cards like so close that, that we can see what's going on with them. But, man, nice catch on that newbie. They all use drugs. I'm buying up Terrence Mann. They probably upcharged them too. Jason says they upcharged them. I know this guy. Let him hit up that made this post. I know this guy. Let me hit him up that made the post. Hey, Natsman, was this not in the Baubles? Was this not Baubles? Shui says he thought it was centering. Natsman, I think I saw this on the Bobbles. Wasn't it Bobbles that he submitted it through, or was Bobbles that posted it? I think. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. I think I saw that. I think Bobbles posted that. And for you guys that don't know who I'm talking about, Bobbles ball cards. They're an SGC group submitter. You guys check them out on Instagram or on Facebook. I think they're on Facebook. But I think, yeah, see here, they posted it. They posted it as well. So that's interesting. Okay. Da, da, da. Yeah, they posted it too. I knew I saw that card somewhere. I'm like, where have I seen that card? But I didn't pay attention to the story. So anyway, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, again, what does that tell us? That tells us that there's just so much in terms of like who grades what, who's hard, who's not hard, who's. I mean, it's just all over the place, man. Pick somebody you like and I don't know, go with it. I can't, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of weird. I'll tell you what is interesting though, is that SGC. That SGC one looks like it was gonna sell for about the same price as a PSA 10, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna actually keep an eye on that one, just to see what's what, because they have a 9.5. Look, here's one at that best offer was $320. So he probably took a little bit less than that for a PSA for SGC 10. And PSA 10s are going for about the same price. Oh shit, no, they're going for more. Okay, so then Card Hedger was right. Their last sale was at $599, and there was another one that was accepted best offer. So Card Hedger was correct, $479. But I mean, again, it looks like this one's gonna sell for, it's got bids on there. It's got 16 hours left, so it'll be over sometime tomorrow, which is like kind of power hour on eBay Sunday nights. So it's probably gonna do pretty good. I'm gonna watch it and see what it does just for grins. But I thought the card was clean too. It was a little off center, but SGC, I think they put a lot of weight on centering. I think that's been something that Peter has talked about how they put a lot of weight on centering. So we'll see. I don't know. It's just interesting though. Again, it's one of those things where who's right. Who's right. It matters about who you're gonna go to, who you decide to sub with, and it is what it is. I've made my decision, right? My decision is that I'm gonna continue to go with these sort of, I guess, boutique kind of grading companies. I'm going to continue to go with the boutique kind of places, and then as my main be SGC. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things. But so Shui, you're saying that you think subbed originally through Bobbles and then resubbed through Jared Landers at Gymmit. So Shui, you say that you think the 8.5 was harsh, like it should have done better. Like you didn't agree with that. You didn't agree with that 8.5. Seriously, let's get. SGC is my favorite, but why the F can't they put some security on the case? David, what do you mean security on the case? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I can vibe with you on that, Dan. I think sorry, David. I think you're right. There's the cases for SGC don't have like the watermarks that PSA has and the other stuff, which is interesting. But okay, so Shui says he thought it was clean, but it was off center a little bit. Subbed originally through Bobbles and then resubbed through Jared Landress at Gymmit. Okay, well, interesting. Dan, which player do you hate because you got burned by his cards? Nobody, Dan. I'll put it to you this way. I don't really speculate like that to the point to where if something doesn't pan out, then I hate the player. I really, and this is going to be kind of, I don't want to say cheesy, but I really do just buy what I like half the time, or 90% of the time. I did, when I kind of first jumped into this, I did kind of catch on to this wave of like trying to prospect, but nothing really, man. Like, for example, Teddy Bridgewater. I went in on Teddy Bridgewater pretty hard. I bought some Topps Chrome Teddy Bridgewater stuff, PSA 10s, PSA 9s, and stuff like that, and I got burned pretty hard on him. And then also, you guys know, I've talked about this before. I prospected and picked up quite a bit of stuff for Dante DiVincenzo. But I liked him. I liked him when he was in Villanova. I liked him as a player. So again, somewhat PC, somewhat speculative, right? I did the same thing with Clint Capella, right? Somewhat prospecting, but still just a player that I really liked. So nothing, man. I haven't really seen anything that I'm just like, I'm just going to buy it for the pure investment or prospecting. I don't really do any of that. So nothing really I got burned on, to be honest with you. 8.5 was pretty harsh in my opinion, partially why I cracked it and resubbed and thought I could easily 9 at PSA. And at that time it was worth the price difference. Yeah, so big price difference, Shui. I agree. But man, I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting that Joker to come back a 10, which is kind of crazy. But hey, man, congrats to you, dude. That's finally the system worked in your favor, right? So that's pretty dope, man. Congratulations, dude. I hope you make some bank off that. If that was your goal, was to try to maximize your money. Listen, guys, I've had so many people that have reached out to me on Instagram and they're like, yo, what should I do with this card? And it'll be like a National Treasure fucking RPA of like Chris Paul. And, and they're like, and I'm like, the first question I ask everybody is I say, what do you want to do with it? Are you going to flip it? Do you want to flip it? Do you want to keep it? Do you want to, is it a PC item for you? Is it not? Is it purely an investment? What do you want to do? And then they'll say, oh, it's an investment. Okay, then go to PSA, man. Like, go to PSA if you feel like the card is good enough where it's like undoubtedly a 10. And even then, you're probably going to get a 9. So if you're looking to make a financial decision, look at comps at a PSA 8 and a PSA 9. And then just be like amazingly surprised if you get a 10. Because if you're going to base your decision on what to do with your cards based on comps of a PSA 10, you're shooting yourself in the nuts. And it's going to be hard pressed for you to get a 10. But if it makes sense for you financially, even at a PSA 8 or a PSA 9 to send it to PSA, then dude, there's, and it's going to make a difference, right? For the $150 now that you're going to pay to send a card to PSA. So I don't want you guys to think that I tell people stay away from PSA. I don't. In fact, I encourage people sometimes, depending on the card, to go there. If you have a Kevin Durant rookie card, Topps Chrome Kevin Durant that you're going to send off, then yeah, fuck yeah, send it to PSA. Because no matter what it gets, you're going to get the most amount of money from a PSA slab card. There's no doubt about that. I've never denied that. But SGC is creeping up, man. It's creeping up there. And I've gotten a lot of messages from those of you who are selling on my slabs that are telling me that you guys are getting like really good offers close to PSA 10 comps for your SGC slabs. And that's great. That's great. That's the way it should be. So it is what it is, man. VK, if you're asking me if I'm into soccer because of my jersey, I kind of explained that at the beginning of the stream. I buy jerseys strictly on aesthetics. I don't know shit about soccer. And I buy them purely because I like the way they look. In fact, my strategy is to go into a soccer store and ask the attendants there, hey, where is the rack of all the teams that suck and you guys simply cannot sell their soccer jerseys and they're on clearance for like 80% off, and there's usually a rack back in the back, and then at that point I just pick them out based on which one I think looks the best. So I know Arsenal, I've been told recently by some family members who are massive soccer fans that Arsenal sucks terribly, which is probably why I picked up this jersey for $20 instead of paying the $90 for it. So that's kind of how it works. So no, I don't know anything about soccer, not enough to do anything. Let's see here. SGC was always number one in grading vintage. They set the standard. PSA in the 50s still kept rolling. Yeah, I agree, Rick. They were the standard when it comes to anything like pre-1950s. They were the ones. So, I don't understand how people think that that's going to be any different in a modern card, which is kind of weird. I remember looking at watching somebody's video. It might have been Sports Card Investor's video of the National, and they were showing this really neat display case with like all these like pre-war tobacco era cards, baseball cards, and they were all there was maybe like 15 or 20 of these like 6-7 figure cards in this amazing display case, 10 or 15 of them, and maybe 2 of them were PSA, the rest of them were SGC. And it's like, as a PSA guy, like, do you think that the people who put the effort into grading those cards are for some reason putting less effort into a LaMelo Ball rookie card? Like, where's the logic there? It's kind of silly to me. It's like if you went to Ralph Lauren for a polo shirt, but you won't buy a Ralph Lauren t-shirt because you don't think they make it in the same quality. It's like, come on, man. Like it's let's be a little reasonable here, right? So Kyler Murray should have a good year. Kyler Murray, as long as DeAndre Hopkins plays for the Arizona Cardinals, will always have a good year. DeAndre Hopkins can catch anything that is thrown in his general vicinity, and I loathed the day that we got rid of him. He is the best wide receiver in football right now, and I don't think there's very many arguments against that. That dude is amazing in the way he plays wide receiver, and I was so upset when we lost him. But yeah, Kyler Murray's got him, and because of that, they should be a great 1-2 punch in your fantasy league, by the way, if you guys want to do that. My Slabs is legit, says Star Wars Living. Yep, they are. 1% or 10%, like flat fee, or what do they charge? 1% flat fee no matter what, which is kind of dope. In my opinion, no reason at all to have to pay 14% fee bay to sell your slabs. I agree. Invest in investment grade PSA, BGS, BGF Hall of Famers centered with eye appeal, guaranteed win. Yep, that's a good tactic. Hoops, Rick, that's a good tactic, man. I like it. I know I'm bugging, but I'd like to hear you admit that no security features matters, especially on high end. I love SGC, but someone will counterfeit them soon, just like they did PSA and BGS. David, I agree with you, man. I agreed with you when you first brought this up, that is something that they're lacking on. They're lacking on that and subgrades. I've always said that the one issue that I have with SGC is subgrades. But again, the authenticity, the security features, and all that stuff that PSA has in there, they have that in there because they're grading some pretty high end cards. I don't care about that. I don't buy super expensive stuff, so it is what it is. But how many old slabs took time to get used to the new one? I have many old slabs, took time to get used to the new ones. Yeah, that's I have Rick. I have like a pretty good. I think I have one of each iteration of PSA slabs, which is kind of cool. You got any new Hakeem pickups? I don't, Pisto. I just have. Oh shoot! I'm getting spammed here. Hot girls and boys. Okay, we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna remove that. And we're going to remove that. All right. Well, that one didn't last too long, that spam. And we're going to remove that. All right, cool. no new Hakeem pickups. I haven't really been buying a whole lot, guys, honestly. I just haven't. I haven't been on the lookout. And then, I have this kind of stupid rule where I don't want to spend more than $100 in a single transaction. And really, I've been trying to put some money together to buy some wax. I want to break some stuff. I want to open up some boxes. I got this freaking like new like setup here, like with all this like awesomeness, and I want to open packs. I want to open boxes. So I'm kind of trying to put some, really kind of trying to save the funds for that. So yeah, I really don't want to. I really haven't been buying a whole lot of stuff. If you were to speculate, who would be your top five? Who would be your top 5 NBA prospects? So I rattled off a handful of them. KPJ, Green that just got drafted for the Rockets. Kevin Porter Jr. or KPJ, Green. Just Sean Tate, and again, guys, I don't really do a whole lot of prospecting. What's the one kid that plays? He plays for Pokuševski. I'm always interested in people like that and players like that. There you go. Alekej Pokuševski. I'm always, kind of interested in guys like that because he reminds me of a Giannis, right? Giannis came into the league. He was just this big, long, gangly kid, but he had skills. And this Pokuševski kid has skills. And if he packs on any more muscle onto that wirely, gangly frame, that kid's gonna be a problem. So a lot of people, I've heard that a couple of times, and I kind of just looked it up, and really just kind of honed in on that. But that kid is like, what is he, like 6 foot or like 7 foot something? Pokuševski. Yeah, he's 7 footer. I mean, he's basically, the white version of Kevin Durant. The kid's got an outside game, inside game. I mean, he can be a problem. The kid puts on 20, 30 pounds of muscle over the next 2 or 3 years, kid's going to be a problem, Shannon is another guy that I think the Rockets, that to me, what was his name? Alperen. Shannon. What is his name? I think that's his name. God dang it. I'm really bad at these. There he goes. Alperen Şengün. That kid is on another level. 6'10", 250 pounds. Moves like a point guard. I mean, if I had to give you something like that, the prospect, that's who I love, man. I like these kids who are young, hungry. We'll see what's what. But Christian, you saw the botters come in, the spam bots come in and try to push porn on my channel. I appreciate that. Sadiq Bey, that's another one. I've heard about Sadiq Bey. Who does he play for? Detroit. Man, the problem is he's just on a crappy team right now. The idea of guys that could be really good, they're on a crappy team. It's kind of weird. Let me see. Keelan says, if I make retro coasters and magnets, he'd buy some. So Keelan, I've been like really in this space where I want to do some, something like that. Cause I've had a couple of people ask me like, hey man, you going to do some shirts or something like that? Especially when I did this, when I did the logo, like actually put together a logo and stuff like that. But I want to do something a little bit more than just like put out a t-shirt or hats with my logo on them. I want to do something a little cooler than that. that's really tied to like 90s basketball and, stuff like that. So I've had this idea in my head about what I want to do, and I'm just trying to work with some folks on, really trying to bring what I have in my head like to life, because we're gonna do some pretty cool stuff. So I own a couple of websites, domain names that are very tied to retro hoops and what I do. So I want to put out some stuff. Hey Rick, man, thank you for joining me, dude, or joining us in the group. Man, you've been all over this chat, brother, and I appreciate it, man. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure you have. Rick, drop a like on the thing on your way out, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night, man. Strange day, yeah. Milwaukee, yeah. Rick is all the way in Alaska. Goodness, that would suck, man. My wife says we look alike, and she walked in here seeing on the TV. She said the difference is I cuss more. Well, Nat, YouTube has this thing where they'll like read like your, it's the same technology that they use for the closed captions. So when they pick up curse words, they tend to flag it, and then it messes with my money on YouTube. But make no mistake, brother. I kind of got a problem with my kids right now because I do quite a bit of cursing in the house. I don't think cursing is a bad thing. I think there's like studies out there that say that people who cuss a lot are typically healthier in terms of like being able to emotionally express themselves. But I cuss like a sailor, man. My brother's in here. He'll tell you I cuss like a damn sailor. I'm pretty bad with it. I've actually had people go, "Hey, man, like there's kids around." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, that is what it is." But cooler than that is a card set. Make the influencers card sets. If it wasn't the Rockets, who would be your team? If it wasn't the Rockets, it would probably be. I would either be a Magic's. Because I was a Magic fan. I mean, I loved, that whole team that went to the finals. So I'm big. So I'm a Hakeem Olajuwon fan first, right? Then obviously Jordan, but everybody's a Jordan fan. But I think people are more Jordan fans than they were Bulls fans, because I was never a Bulls fan. But definitely a Hakeem Olajuwon Houston Rockets fan first. And then after that, it's the Orlando Magics. Like I was a huge fan of Penny, Shaq, Horace Grant, Dennis Scott. Those guys, Nick Anderson. Like I love that whole squad. That was a dope squad. And then after that is definitely the Seattle Supersonics, Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf, Sean Kemp, Perkins, and all those guys on that Seattle Supersonics squad. So. If I would have stuck with Orlando Magic, obviously the Orlando Magic are still around. If not, I would have stuck with the Seattle Supersonics, which have turned into the Seattle Thunder, or the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I'm hearing that they might bring back the Supersonics as an expansion team with a couple other teams. So if I held no allegiance to the Rockets from a geographic standpoint, then definitely the Orlando Magics would be my next. It's like the same thing with my with the Texans, right? So like I'm a Texans fan because I live in Houston, but if I held no allegiance to the Texans because of geographical influences, then my next team is the Baltimore Ravens, because during the period that we didn't have a team here in Houston, when the Oilers left Tennessee, we had no team, and I was a big fan at the time of Ray Lewis. And then even then, I became a big fan of Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata and those guys. Like I love that whole defensive line that they had, was just dope. So I became a big Baltimore fan, and then we got a team, and then I became I'd stopped cheering for the Ravens, and then I became a Texans fan because of it. So that's that's kind of how it goes. Was I a Warren Moon fan? Yes, I was. Warren Moon. Chris Dishman was like one of my favorite guys. with the Oilers. But again, really just because we were in Houston and that was our team. In case you guys haven't noticed, I'm a huge homer, right? I love cheering for the teams in my city, and I don't like cheering for any other teams unless my team isn't in contention anymore. And then at that point, I can comfortably go, all right, then I'll cheer for this other team or whatever. But so other than that, I mean, I'm really a homer when it comes to my sports. Because it just feels that much better, like to be able to talk shit, whenever your team does win. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, if I had to pick another team, it'd either be the Magics or the Supersonics, because I was a huge Penny Hardaway fan and I was a huge Sean Kemp fan. As you guys can see, I got that's Elijah there, but then that's Penny Hardaway right there, and then you guys can't see it. But this one right here. That's Sean Kemp autograph Sean Kemp. So yeah, I mean, kind of is what it is. But I like, y'all know I love me some vintage basketball. So yeah, if it wasn't Rockets, who would be? I'm part of the Thrill Pack Cards Break. You should check us out on Thursdays and Fridays. Thrill Pack Card Breaks. Google search Thrill Pack Cards. Thrill Pack Cards. They got any basketball? Doesn't look like they got any basketball going on right now. Oh, here they do. Looks like they rip a lot of retail. Yeah, looks like they rip a lot of retail. Basketball boxes. Oh, they got some boxes. You know what I want to rip a lot of that I think is a very slept-on product, and I'm saying this, but you guys know how much I love NBA Hoops, is the NBA Hoops Premium. It's like the first year they did it, so it's like pretty good. I like that. It's kind of a oddball product, and I think a lot of people don't like it because there's not like a lot of hits in there, but I like it. It's basically like NBA Hoops on like really high end cards. So yeah, I'll check them out. Keelan, and see what's up with them. I'm a big Jordan fan. I wish my favorite player was Elijah. I wish my favorite. Hey, David, you can decide who your favorite player is, bro. And you can, and you know what's even greater is you can change your mind if you want to. Has a box of 90-91 Skybox. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a mix, but besides basketball cards, do you like basketball figurines like the McFarlane ones? Yeah. So I have I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but that one right there is a Kobe Bryant. What is it? What are those called? The starting lineup. And then I have like the big 18. Is it the 18 or 24 inch starting lineup figure sets? So I'm in the middle of kind of remodeling my area here, my whole like office. So I need to I need to get, like, there's this table behind me. You guys can see where I got the Mando helmet. There's a table behind me, but I'm gonna move that table out of here, and I'm gonna put up a lot more stuff because I have, like, I've told you guys before, this little corner that you guys are seeing behind me here is only like maybe a fifth of what I have in this entire room. I have a bunch of shit in this room, and then I still have more shit that's like in boxes that I haven't put up on the walls. So, it's kind of one of those things, but, we'll see what's what. But I need to put up more stuff because I got a lot of Rockets, vintage Rockets stuff. I got probably one of the dopest, and I'm probably gonna do a video on it just because it's that dope of a piece. The Chalk Talk jackets from like the early 90s. I have the Hakeem Olajuwon. I think that's what they were called. Chalk Talk jacket. I think that's what it was called. Chalk line, not Chalk Talk. What the fuck? I said Chalk Talk. Chalk line jackets. Yeah, so I got a Elijah one. Elijah one. I got an Elijah one chalkline jacket. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I got. The Dream jacket. Yeah, see, I got that jacket right there. Oh, it's not on here anymore. Dang, look at that one. That's pretty gangster. Yeah, so I have the Akeem Olajuwon of that jacket. Dang, the Jordan one's going for $475. That's not bad. I wonder if Chocolate Olajuwon. Somebody had to have sold one at some point. Really? Nobody? Chalkline. Somebody's sold one. Olajuwon. Really? Nobody? Damn. Nobody sold it. That's interesting. Anyway, I have one of these, but so yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that I collect. Like I don't just collect cards, like I collect like a bunch of other things that have to do with like vintage basketball in general. So I'm a big Jordan fan. I wish my favorite player was back to SGC. Chew on this for a few days. I think the flip needs to be at least as wide as the card. Somehow looks cheap. A lot to think about. I'm an artist and I understand symmetry. I think the flip needs to be at least as wide as the card. I'm not sure what you mean by the flip, David. Are you trying to say the label needs to be as wide as the card? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what you mean. Like, you talking about the label needs to be as wide as the card? The label looks like it is as wide as the card. I'm also flexing that I have a 9.5 SGC Jordan, by the way. This is 89.90 hoops. Yeah, I mean, is this what we're talking about here? David, is this what you're talking about? David might have logged out. Paging David. So this is a modern card. So it's slightly more narrow than the card itself, the label. But I think it's pretty good. My Jordan retirement card. Pulled it myself. Anyway, that's good stuff. Bro, what is your most expensive card that you have? I honestly don't know, David. I really don't. I wish I had a better answer. I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I would probably say I don't have very expensive cards. I have an 87 Fleer Olajuwon, PSA 10. That one might be worth some coin. I have Olajuwon, Fleer, 87, PSA 10. What are those going for nowadays? No, that's 86 Fleer. I said 87 Fleer. Dum, 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 dum. 87 Fleer, those aren't really, they don't really go for a whole lot, actually. Honestly, man, I don't know what, if I had to guess, I'd say my Deshaun Watson RPA. I have RPA of Deshaun Watson to like 49. If he, if they figure something out, if they figure out what's going on with him, that might be worth some money. I have a handful of like 87, 88, 89 Hakeem Olajuwons and PSA 10, SGC 10, stuff like that. But, a lot of what I have is all junk wax era stuff. So it's not really worth a whole lot, but I just think it's kick ass. So it's, so I have it. But I have my 86 Fleers that are sitting in purgatory right now over at PSA. But even then, those are, they're going to be, PSA 5s or 6s at best. Listen, based on how much shit I've been talking about PSA, I wouldn't doubt that they come back as a 3 or a 2. They find out that they're my cards and then they send those shits back. But, honestly, I don't really have big, valuable cards. I have a lot of what I consider to be pretty cool cards. So I don't really have a whole lot of stuff like that where it's big, like big card. Like I don't have like one card that's worth like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 50,000. Like if you're looking for for me to pull out like a Luka rookie card numbered to 10 patch autograph, that ain't over here, champ. I don't have that kind of stuff, so I have what I've ripped, and that's pretty much it. I don't really do a whole lot. What I am going to try to do here pretty soon is maybe consolidate some of my stuff, because I did mention that I have multiples. Like I have multiple 87 Fleer PSA 10s. I have multiple 88 Fleer PSA 10s. So I might sell off like a handful of those to like buy like some kind of autograph patch card or something like that. I have like some PSA 10s Sean Kemp rookie cards. I have just shit that I like that I wanted to get like in a high grade PSA 10 stuff. But other than that, nah, man. I mean, I'm sorry sorry to disappoint you, but I don't really have a whole lot. I'm dreaming. The flip is the label. I'm dreaming SGC watches your show and hears some of this. No, the label is not as wide. See how it's less wide compared to PSA. Yeah, so I agree with you. David, I agree with you. It's definitely not. Yeah, so the card is a little wider than the actual label itself. If you were to label, if you were to do that, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of. I mean, you'd really have to pay attention to it to be able to notice it. If I just kind of like move it around like this, you can't really tell. But you said you're an artist, so you could probably see it, and it probably bugs the shit out of you. Which I respect that. I respect that. 1990-91 Skybox has Gary Payton and Sean Kemp rookies in it. Yeah, they do. My favorite card that I own is a CGC Gold 10 Pristine Duncan Topps Chrome rookie. That's a banger of a card right there. GemMintCards.com. No, I have plenty, actually. And here's the thing. In the pursuit of like 1 or 2 copies at a very high grade, either a 9.5 or a 10 or a 9 or whatever, I've sent off several of them. So I have a bunch of like 9s and 10s of all that stuff. I was hunting down... what did I buy the other day? I think the other day I bought a PSA 10 Kemp because it was like dirt cheap. Like it was selling. I guess somebody... I guess they weren't paying attention to it or something. It sold for like $15 or $20, like something stupid like that. But I went ahead and bought it. But yeah, no, I'm good on that side. I got actually. Here, let me see. I'm gonna pull out my box here of cards that I need to send off to get graded. And I have some Sean Kemp's in here. Not Sean Kemp's. I have some Gary Payton's in here that I need to send off to get graded. I'm trying to remember where I have those. But I have like Oh, yo, before I forget, I want to give a shout out real quick because somebody hit me up on Instagram. I want to make sure I get his name right because I'm going to show some love here. I'm going to show some love because he showed me some love. John Tacey, my man John Tacey out in Florida. Sent me a DM on Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, man, watch your channel, love your channel. Not really sure, if you can help me out. I have this collection of cards, and I want to send them off to get graded. What do you think?" And he sends me a handful of pictures, and in the picture, he was like, here's what I have. Well, he sends me a picture of this card right here. Okay. This card right here. Those of you guys know what this card is. Y'all know what this card is. Okay. So he sends me these pictures, but this card was in the death clamp, as I like to call it, which is the old school fucking screw down cases, that are just like torture for our cards. Okay. So he sends me this, right? And he says, "Yo, man, I want to send this off to PSA because this card goes for like $27,000. And I go, "Yes, you're absolutely right, Mr. Tacey. This card does go for $27,000 in a PSA 10. And that card, a PSA 10 is very hard to achieve because of the chipping on the foil. And because you have it in a screw down case from 1993, chances are, which those screw down cases, if you guys have screw down cards and screw down cases, get them out of those things immediately and put them in a top loader and in a penny sleeve and a top loader." So he sends me this picture and he's like, I said, "Yo, get it out of there ASAP." So he does the surgery, he gets the card out, and then he sends me some pictures, and I'm like, "Bro, honestly," and I told him, I said, "I'm just being honest with you here." I said, I don't think that card's gonna do very well because it's very badly damaged. It's a very badly damaged card. I said, I think it's an awesome card, so I'm still interested in it, but it's nowhere near the $27,000 that you think you're going to get for the card because it's not in PSA 10 condition. And I said, send me some. I said, take it out of the death grip and send me some pictures, and I'd like to make you an offer if you're interested in selling it. And so he says, "Yeah, I'm definitely interested." And then he gets it out and he sends me a bunch of pictures, and I'm like, "Dude, that thing is absolutely trashed." But again, it's a really cool card. Those of you that know this card know how cool this card is. I have an Akeem Olajuwon in the exact same card that I didn't really give a shit about the grade. I sent it off to get graded anyway. So I'm explaining to him that, so he's not new to card collecting, but he is new to card grading. So I helped him out and I said, "Hey man, it's not in the best shape. You're probably going to get like a PSA 5, maybe a PSA 6. And with the way that they're grading right now, I wouldn't doubt that you get a PSA 3 or a PSA 4. It's just not in the best shape, but I'm interested in it in its raw state. I'd like to make you an offer on it if you're interested in selling it." And he says to me, "Bro, I'm just going to send it to you. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. It's yours. If you want it, it's yours." And I'm like blown away. I'm like, "Yo, that is super generous. Like, let me at least cover shipping." And he's like, "Bro, I'm not going to, no." He's like, "No, I love your channel. I love what you're doing. Send me your address and it's yours." I'm like, "Cool." So I send him my address and he sends it on over. Now this is going to be a perfect opportunity for me to use this fucking thing. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is the card. Now, you guys know these Fleer Ultras are so bad when it comes to, let me lower this light down a little bit. So let's lower this light down just a smidge. Okay. So if you look at Jordan, everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. Slight chipping on that top corner, right? Chipping. But then when you get right here, watch this. Oh, man. That is really, really bad. Very, very badly damaged. And this is what I'm talking about with cards, when we're talking about 93, 94 Fleer Ultra cards that are just very susceptible to this type of chipping on the corners. and this is bad. Like, this is really bad. So it's kind of, it's not in the best shape. But again, this is a really dope card, and the chipping just kind of continues, like, along the edges. You could just, it's just pretty bad. It's pretty chipped up. It's in pretty bad shape. But again, I love the card. I wanted the card itself. But this one's in pretty bad shape. And then if I flip it onto the back is kind of even worse. Like, you can really see, like, you see that's supposed to be all green, and it's in bad shape. But again, because of who it is and because of the card itself, and it's like a really iconic set, like, I wanted it and I wanted to make him an offer on it. But he was very generous and said, "No, bro, I got you. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. I've learned a lot from your channel. And it's yours if you want it." And so he sent it to me, and I just wanted to send my man John a shout out for his generosity. It's so bad, man. Look, like right here, like, you can't tell, but that's like, I mean, yeah, you can tell here, but it's the edges are pretty bad. Look, like right here, look at that. I love this thing, man. This thing is so dope. This little magnifying glass thing is, I mean, it's like $20 on Amazon. Look at that. It's got really, really bad edge damage. And that's what happens with these cards, guys. These cards are all susceptible to this. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, but, I'm glad I remembered, because I did want to shout out my man, John. Shout out to him and he sent it to me. Michael Jordan, Power in the Key. If you guys know about this card, y'all know how cool this card is. It's just a great card. So I am going to send it off to SGC just to get it slabbed for the sake of protecting it. I think it's going to be a great card. Now, here's the other thing, and I'll say this right now on the live stream. If I send it to SGC, which if I send it there, I think it'll probably do maybe like a 5, maybe 5.5, maybe 6. If it comes back any higher than that, I'll have to have a chat with Mr. John and split it with him or something. I don't know, but man, I love this thing. This thing is dope. I might have to add that to my list of Amazon affiliate stuff that I have down at the bottom. What's missing from the card is stuck to the screw down. Yeah, Alan. So that's kind of the thing, is that I told him, like, get it out of that screw down like ASAP. And but he said it came out of the screw down with no problem. It's just these cards, bro. That's what they're very susceptible. They're like very susceptible to chipping. I bought a shit ton of them. Power in the Keys. Elijah Power in the Key. I wanted to send one off. Like, I wanted one in a good grade. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is, right here. So this one got an 8.5, but this one was in much better shape than that Jordan. The chipping was nowhere near what the chipping was on that Jordan, but still pretty bad. Because it's foil. It's basically a sheet of foil on top of a printed card. And that's just disaster for, like, damage. So here's the Elijah one. And you can kind of see the same spot. Let me see how I'll do this. I'm gonna have to get used to this. Nowhere near the chipping. And even this one got an 8.5, but this one got an 8.5 because of the back. So, see how bad that corner is? Like, that one got like I mean, those corners are bad. Sorry, guys. I'm still kind of getting used to this fucking thing. It's like super clunky. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't want to waste you guys' time with that. But, you know, just shout out to my man, John. I appreciate the gesture, man. This is like super generous of you. And he's always hitting me up on Instagram. We're chatting and shit. So it's pretty dope. He's got to be going for a grip right now, huh? 9.5. I might sell those. I might sell that one. Somebody mentioned Kyler Murray is coming up. That one's a good one at 2. Might get rid of that one. Here's another Trey Young. That one's probably going for a nice little chunk of change. Anyway. There's my fat boy right there. There's that Luca. Anyway. So yeah, shout out to my man John. Shout out to my man John for the hookup. I got one in an SGC 9.5. It's a cool card, Martin says. Yeah, man. When he showed them to me originally and he was like, hey, man, what do you think? You know, what? I think he originally hit me up because he saw some of the comps for a PSA 10 and was like, dude, this thing is mint. And if you're looking at the card and you don't know the design of it and you don't really know the specifics of it, you would think that this card is in really good shape. But you're going to be highly disappointed when you send it off to get graded because honestly, it's a sharp card in terms of the cardboard, but they grade these so harshly because of the foil, and the foil is highly susceptible to chipping. You know, and so is the back. The back is pretty chipped up too. So anyway, I am going to send it off and see what's what, but we'll see. I think I'm going to start wrapping it up, guys. We're right at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to start wrapping it up. If you guys got any like final questions for me, anything y'all want to talk about. This was kind of a last minute stream, but you know, still managed to get a lot of y'all in here. If you haven't already, man, hit the like button on the sub. Hit the like button on the stream. If you haven't subbed already to the channel, please do so. You know, check all the videos out. I've been doing quite a bit of posting because there's a lot going on in the hobby right now. So there's a lot for me to talk about. And then pretty soon I'll be doing some more breaks. Like I said in my last video, breaks don't do well on my channel in terms of like numbers. But I mean, this channel for me has never been about numbers. It's been just about talking about the stuff I like and opening boxes and talking shit and having fun. So I'm gonna do a lot more of that here coming up. I'm still gonna do some of the analytical stuff that you guys really enjoy, but you know, we'll do that. So if you haven't already, man, hit the like button on the stream. It helps me out. And you know, check out all the stuff that I got in the description. Visit Collect 3D Prints. Let me throw up my. I should have done that at the beginning of the. I should have done it at the beginning. But hit up Collect 3D Prints to get your cases and stuff so you can display your cards and your slabs and get them out of these damn boxes. I say that and I have a whole bunch of slabs in boxes, but as soon as I get a chance to, I'm gonna you know, fix up this display and start putting out a lot more of my cards up behind me. But yeah, you guys check out Collect 3D Prints. Use that link there. It kicks back a little bit of money to the channel to help me buy some more cool shit so I can break open some cool boxes and stuff like that. Thank you guys for hanging out, for kicking it, for commenting, for you know, just interacting in the chat. I appreciate y'all a lot. Y'all know I love y'all, and we'll catch you guys on the next stream. I'm gonna try to do one every weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and set the reminder right now for next Saturday. But until then, we'll see you guys, and we got videos coming out next week. Oh, I recorded a video yesterday talking about BGS. A lot of people have been asking me about why I don't talk about BGS, and I explain why in Monday's video. And then, of course, we got the update video on Wednesday, And then whatever news pops out between now and then, we're going to talk about it. So, again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all for hanging out for a couple hours, talking some shit. And we'll catch you guys next week on the live stream, or come watch some of my videos during the week.